everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Our today's topic is creating forms. As we all know that in our daily life, we used to fill forms at each and every step. Be it an admission form, inquiry form, registration form or anything else. Nowadays, online question papers are also made by using Google Forms. So this is really important for us to learn that how to create forms in HTML. So I would like to take you on a website which is containing several forms. So this website is containing order forms, registration form, event registration, application, booking, etc. So let's have a look. These are the templates of online forms. So let's have a look on this. So preview it. This is Zoom webinar registration form. So it is getting open. Now, in the starting of the form, they are giving the information related to their online webinar. After that, they are asking us to fill the details. So first they are asking that enter your first name, last name, email address. Now, as you can see that once I am clicking upon here to fill my name, I am getting one cursor inside the box. Similarly, here also once I am clicking, I am getting a cursor inside the box so that I can type my first name and last name. These fields are known as text fields. That means I can enter the text over there. Similarly, next example is that I can enter my email address. Now, along with providing the cursor inside the box, they are providing me an example of email address. That means they are providing an example that in this way only you are supposed to enter your email address. So this is very convenient for a user to enter the same thing. After that, they are providing a text box for company name. And they have written over here that this is optional. So you may enter it or you may not enter it. Next field is how did you hear about this webinar? So these options are available in this circle. And these circle formats are known as radio button. So what does it mean? That once I'm clicking upon any of the option, my rest of the options will be deselected. Once I'm clicking upon social media, so as you have observed that earlier I selected advertisement, but now I selected my social media. So automatically my previous selected element got deselected. So this is the feature of my radio element. After that, they are providing one text box. Now there is a difference between this text box and the previous text box. This text box has a limited space, but this text box can be extended too. That means I can resize it also according to my need. So as many as characters I want to type over here, I can type. Generally, these type of boxes are made so that the customers can write their feedback in number of characters. And finally, I am getting one submit button. Now let's fill the form quickly and see that how does it work. So I'm writing Neha Garg and my email address is nch.garg@gmail.com. After that, company name they are asking, so this is optional. I'm not going to enter it. Webinar, this is social media, and please register me. Okay, and I'm going to submit it. Now, after clicking on submit, they are asking email does not match. That means I'm not already registered with them, right? So I'm again going to click upon submit. So now my form is submitted finally, and I have got the message also of thank you. So this is how the form works. But now with respect to this, I want to take you on two things. Like first, we design a web page which is known as a front end. That means this form which is visible to you is designed with the help of HTML or CSS language, right? And HTML is a markup language, not a programming language. But once I'm clicking on submit, then where my data is going and saved, that depends upon my programming language which is used at the back. So second thing which you need to understand is the backend language. That means there is always a processing page who is going to process this form. So after clicking on submit, my data is processed at the back. And that language can be scripting language or any server side language. So examples can be like it can be a PHP language, it can be ASP.NET, or it can be JavaScript. So any of the language can be there at the backend who is going to process this form. So now we are going to understand the front end coding. That means the HTML coding. How can we design a form? So let's start with it. So we always start writing the HTML coding with HTML tag. So I'm going to start it. Now, the next tag is head tag, which contains the title of the web page. After that, I'm going to give the title to my web page. This is online form, and I'm going to close it, closing the title. After that, I'm going to close my head tag also. Then I'm going to open my body tag. First we close it. After that, finally, I'm going to close my HTML tag also. Now this body tag will contain a form tag. So form is also a container tag as well as a block level tag. So now inside the form, I can add any of the input element or any other button control. But for creating the form, there are some necessary attributes. So we are going to discuss one by one what are all these attributes. First attribute is name. So name attribute contains the name of the form, and this name is going to be used by processing page. That means I told you that this is the front end page which we are going to design, and there must be a processing page in the back end which is going to process this form. So that processing page will access this form by this name attribute. So whatever the name I'll be giving over here will be processed there. So now I'm going to tell you that how to write the name of a form, because it should be meaningful. So FRN, I can set the prefix for my form, right? And if I'm going to create one login page, so what can I write over there? Login page. So how will I read it? Login page form. If I want to create any inquiry form, so what can I write over there? Inquiry. So how will I read it? Inquiry form. So this is the way to write any name of the form. And this method of writing the name is known as camel case naming convention. This is my camel case notation. And why am I calling it camel case notation? Because my first word of the name is completely written in the small letters and rest of the words are written in capitalized form. So let's create the login page. So my form name is login page. And do remember, this is the name which is going to be used by the processing page. Next attribute is by the name action. So this action attribute is going to contain the value. And that value is the name of the processing page who is going to process this particular form. So let's say that the name of the processing page is process.html. Although this page is not created, I will create it right now so that I can show you. So this is my process.html and this is the processing page. After that, we have method. So method attribute contains two types of methods, get or post. So any of the method I can use here. But there is still a difference between get and post method. Get method is by default method. So I need not to mention the method attribute if I'm going to use the get. But if I'm going to use post method, then I need to mention it over here. And there is another difference. Get method, if my processing page is using the get method, then what happens once I'm submitting my form, then everything will be displayed in the URL upside. That means all the details will be displayed over there in the URL. But if the processing page is going to process the form with the help of post method, then everything will be secret. That means nothing will be displayed over there in the URL. So we'll talk about it later on also, that how my get and post method works, and I will show you with the help of example as well. So this is the way of creating a form in HTML. Now Control S, I'm going to execute it. So on the desktop, I'm going to create it by the name login.html. Press enter. Now my form is created and I can see that this is my login page. So if I'm double clicking over there, then nothing is displayed because I have only created the form, but I have not entered anything into my form. And because my form is a block level tag, so my complete web page area is assigned to my form tag. So I am allowed to enter any of the control over there. So in my next video, I'll be telling you that how can we add these type of controls in our web page. So till then, stay safe, stay happy. Thank you.